Okay, I have a brand new DCU update for you guys today. And boy, is there already trouble in the DCU? Everything was looking good until I woke up today and saw a story posted that kind of shocked me a little bit, but is not entirely surprising. And we're going to take a look at that. It has to do with Henry Cavill's return as Superman. There hasn't been a whole lot going on this week as far as the DCU goes, other than we heard little tidbits of some other things that Ezra Miller is not going to be a part of the promotion for the Flash film, that they're going to keep him behind the scenes and he'll do a couple of interviews, but he's not going to be making the circuit. He's going to be very much kept in the back room. I do think they are going to distance themselves from him, and he will be recast. I don't see that as something they can avoid at this stage. It depends on the kind of help that he's getting and if he's doing what he is supposed to do. Outside of that, there's been a lot of talk about Batman possibly being a bigger part of the DCU, that if they're bringing Cavill back, then it makes sense to bring Ben Affleck back because he is the DCU Batman. And with Zaslav making the comment, and I talked about this in my last video, that they aren't going to have 4 Batmans running around, then it does make sense to solidify what their Trinity is going to be and what their base is going to be moving forward for the fans. But after what happened today and the information that is coming out of Hollywood, which I'm still going to put this in the rumor category because we don't know what's happening. And honestly, we're not going to know what's happening until you've got Peter Safran and Gunn making their what they're going to do for their 10-year plan and what they're going to have going forward in their Bible that they're trying to create. They said they're getting close to finalizing the plans. But until they reveal that to the public, and we've seen the old regime change things time and time again. So right now, everything can be considered rumor, but let's take a look at this. I woke up to this article from Screen Rant that says Henry Cavill's Superman return plans on hold amid DC studio changes. Henry Cavill's Superman return to the DCU is reportedly on a slight hold amid DC studios changes, with James Gunn still figuring out the future. This is after we heard that his return may be fast-tracked and that they might have a March start date for his movie. There have been some reports out there that they are fast-tracking this and that they were further along with the production than we ever thought, and that it might go before the cameras come March. We also had, I can see her face, the girl who played Lois Lane. I hate it when I do this when I get on here, but she actually had an interview yesterday doing the circuit for Disenchanted on Disney+, and she came out and said she has not been contacted by anybody from Warner Brothers Studios, and she would totally come back and play Lois Lane again, but she doesn't know if she's got a part in it. We don't know if any of the original cast is going to come back, so they're trying to figure some stuff out. It says Henry Cavill's Superman return has slowed down, as what could be Man of Steel 2 appears to be on hold as James Gunn and Peter Safran figure out the DC Universe's future. DC fans were treated to a surprise last month when Henry Cavill returned as Superman in Black Adam's post-credits scene. The actor followed up the appearance with a social media post promising that he would continue to be Superman in the DCU and that exciting plans were in motion. Well, now, he quit The Witcher, and it seems like all of a sudden, things are coming to a screeching halt. It now appears that Henry Cavill's Superman return will take a bit longer than some may have expected. Previous reports revealed that Cavill did not have a contract for more DC appearances and that no creative team was in place for Man of Steel 2. These details have once again been corroborated by The Wrap, but the outlets add that the momentum behind the project has slowed down. This is due to new DC studio heads James Gunn and Peter Safran remaining busy figuring out the long-term plans for the DCU. They go on to say news of a Superman movie starring Henry Cavill being delayed or stalling in development is not something new for DC fans. We've been teased time and time again. So it's going to be interesting. They go on to kind of give their 2 cents here and say that Henry Cavill's return does have to be a part of the DC universe because they already, used him in Black Adam. They can't turn around and go in a different direction now. So what does this mean? Well, you could take it with a grain of salt. There's no single news outlet out there that has the goods on everything. So the Wrap could be completely wrong in their insinuation. I would trust more of what Henry Cavill said in his social media post, and the fact that DC Comics shared his post and Warner Brothers Discovery liked his post. I really don't think that he was just blowing smoke. I think there is a definitive plan, something coming up. Now, this was obviously before they announced James Gunn and Peter Safran taking over. But again, there is a committee of 5 individuals behind all this that have to make the decisions before anything moves forward. And we don't know what is happening with that process currently. There may be some things that are slowing it down. There's a lot of people they need to talk to. We haven't heard anything about Ben Affleck. And what's interesting about that is, I talked about this many times during my videos in the past, that there are rules behind NDAs and contracts to where these people can't speak. And for the longest time, Henry Cavill was completely silent until he showed up in Black Adam and then did his social media post. And again, it was liked by Warner Brothers Discovery, and DC Comics made a comment. So Ben Affleck is now the one that's in the shadows. And this usually means there are negotiations going on. And I think that they're really trying hard to shore all these characters up and get them in place before they reveal any big plans to the public. If any more information comes out over the next week, I will be doing more videos, so stick to my channel. I'm glad I was able to get this video out to you guys here today. And what do you guys think of this news? And what are your feelings on the return of Henry Cavill and what this could mean for the future? We will see shortly.